what is the role of the communal dimension of religious involvement and its connection with the things we've been talking about? Spiritual resilience, resilience, mental, physical, social health. It's a very important part, and it's probably the most powerful predictor of what we've been talking about. So religious practice, religious involvement in a community sense, religious attendance seems to be the most powerful predictor of health outcomes. Now, one reason for this is because it's easier to show. Okay, so it's not mainly, but it's part of this is a technical issue in conducting the research, simply because people who are more involved in community tend to, from the start, be physically able to get out into the community and to be psychologically able and willing and socially willing. So you have a selection effect of individuals who perhaps are a little healthier, a little more extroverted, a little bit more socially oriented, who get involved in the religious practices as a community, as a social activity. So that's the only little factor in there that you have to consider, but there's no question that it's the most powerful predictor of all of the health outcomes. Now, what is also a powerful predictor, whether one is engaged in the communal dimension or not, is this idea of level of devotion. Level of devotion seems to be very important, that within the own person, their own personal beliefs and commitments, that a lot of times encourage them to go participate in the communal activities. It's one of the driving forces to get them to do that. But that seems to be fairly central even to some of the benefits that are seen within the communal dimension, in that the combination of having a personal, private devotional life and a communal devotional, worshiping life together with others seems to be really the most powerful combination. When you're simply in the communal dimension for social reasons, without any kind of devotional aspect, it doesn't really have the benefits. It has probably similar benefits to being part of a club or a team of any kind, where you have common goals and common interests, etc. But it's the devotional element that is in there that reinforces some of these other things, and that by itself has effects that seems to be also very important in terms of the health benefits that you see down the road, and ultimately the resilience. Now, in terms of different faith traditions that have more or less of the communal dimension, it's very hard to study these traditions and compare the various faith traditions, simply because they came about. For example, let's compare the monotheistic Western traditions of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism with the pantheistic traditions of Buddhism and Hinduism and some of the Chinese religions. Simply because of the way of the issues, the cultural influences and the environmental influences that affected the growth, the development of these religions. It's influence whether they're more communal versus whether they're more individual-centered. And it's very hard to compare the benefits of these different approaches because they come from such different places. My sense of reading the literature, though, is that, again, the devout practices, if you are a devout Buddhist or Hindu who is practicing what their religious belief system says is important, is acting on those beliefs and living the moral and values that the faith tradition is grounded on, then you're going to see some of the same benefits you're going to see from Christianity and Muslims and Jews who are devout members of their faith tradition. It really has to do with the level of devoutness that's personal, that's inside the individual, that is driving whatever they're doing. Why are they doing it? Why are they doing the communal practices? Why are they doing the other rituals or whatever it is? It's the level of personal devotion that seems to be important, and that is what ultimately is causing the downstream effects on mental health, physical health, and social relationships.